I think a lot of founders, I'm going to say myself here included, they try and start at the end where they say, okay, our goal is to go public by this year, selling at this valuation, which, hey, that's a good goal to have, but then work backwards. No, you guys start at the beginning. You guys start at the beginning.
I've made this mistake so many times, even with day one along the way. And I remember it back super clearly. The very first business we tried to build when I was at Human Ventures, the venture studio before day one. So this is 6+ years ago now. I drew a line from where we were to the number of like users we wanted. And I was like, we need to get these number of users every week or month. And it looks like this. That is so wrong. That is the absolute, it's both you're going to go up and down, or what it's going to be is it's going to be really flat until something clicks, and then it's going to go like this. Right. And so it's like a logical minded person would be like, yeah, we just grow like this, dots up to the right, straight line slope. This is why entrepreneurship is so counterintuitive. It's why the misfits do entrepreneurship, right? I'm unlearning so many things. It's because you have to be like this. So what ends up happening is irrationally focused people do things wrong until it's right. And it's not wrong. It's try thing one, try thing two. It's Thomas Edison, 999 failures before he gets it right. So it's not wrong in the sense of like, don't do it. It's like, do it until you get there. So I don't really know how I got off on this tangent. It was
starting at the end.
Starting at the end, bad idea. You can't start at the end because the line is not straight. It's this crazy. So you're right. You I chafe against this as a logical person who knows about the journey. You kind of do have to just do the thing in front of you, do the next thing, put your head down, do it. But the thing is not like do the marketing like you're about to IPO tomorrow. It's learn. And so if you as a founder can stay disciplined to, I do things to learn. And when I have enough of the right things, when I put that to, so like in your case, Will, you should do things to learn, like talk to all the different types of businesses and ask them, are podcasts in your repertoire for this year? Are you struggling to do a podcast? Like all the questions about getting a podcast on. Some of them, when you have enough honest conversations, some people will be like, why would I ever do a podcast? And other people will be like, yeah, all my competitors have one and I need one tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I love that question specifically with podcasting, because podcasting is a thing that people know they need, but they don't know how to need it and they don't know how to use it. But you even said it there, like, do you know what the P in podcast stands for?
No, because it's like that's the old iPod pod situation.
Oh yeah,
right?
so no, but I'm teeing up a Will Tarashuk original here. So the podcast acronym, a podcast is a personally oriented discussion centered around select topics. That's cool. That's what a podcast is, but the P stands for personal. It's like I say it all the time. I podcast for personal growth. I podcast when I'm curious. How do you become a guest on the Talking with Tarashuk podcast? You gotta make me go, ooh.
You just know somebody.
That's interesting.
You know the guy. Yeah.
Oh, you know the guy, but it's all you interesting. Like this morning, that woman who had that scale, that financial planner. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. I was like, well, shit. Now I gotta have her on the podcast because it's interesting, and you follow your interests.
Absolutely. So it's you can't. So you have to be putting your head down. You have to be just like doing the things in front of you and
day at a time.
And learning. And then it works. And then you put it together and then you see if it really works. And when it does, I definitely don't, one of the things I've been saying to people is like, I've seen enough businesses do well, but I've seen way more businesses not do well. And all the businesses that don't do well do the same things. And it's the things that they're not so the businesses that succeed all are uniquely awesome. They all figure something out. The businesses that fail or struggle all along the way have all the exact same hangups, right? They all scale too early. They all play to the end way too fast. They basically run out of money, they basically run out of fuel. They don't give themselves the runway needed. And they kind of just don't stay home, and they're not really honest about what's working and what's not, and fundamentally that's like, if you do enough of that, there is a level, if you reduce all of entrepreneurship down to some of these basic things. If you have the ability to stay in the game and you keep your like core, you have this honest, humble focus on learning things, you will succeed. And that's where like I will put a platitude out there, which is like, if you do these things, it is impossible not to get somewhere, right? Because you are just uncovering, you're just going through one failure to the next failure to the next failure until something works. And like, maybe there's this like crazy outlier case where like you just cannot learn from your past mistakes. But we're all like, anyone listening to this, like this is where the other fundamental thing entrepreneurs need is a growth mindset. And really, frankly, just some amount of awareness to grow from thing to thing, right, man? So I've never met somebody quite like this, but if you just are like blindly throwing your head against the wall, I'm like, that's also not very fun. I don't really know what to do about that. Like maybe you'll get lucky, but if you can learn from your things, you're going to get somewhere.